Warm welcome. This is Markus Termin at the 18th of February 2025. As I'm speaking, the sun just crossed over the line to the sign of Pisces, and the moon is in the sign of Scorpio, and together with Mars, still retrograde until the 24th of February, so soon to come, next weekend. But this is the handbrake still being in use. But with that, we are in a big water trine. So this is a change from air trine to water trine. And water trine means as we had all the thinking, as we had all the consideration, as we had all the thoughts going from here to there, now things are being in the flow. And in the flow means they are in the change, because water is going down and air is going up, water is going down, and the change is going to change also the stable things of the earth element, because as you know, when water flows into the earth gets softened and it comes to several kind of disasters, possibly, you could say so. But it's a hopeful day anyhow, because things that have to change. We are in that period of big change. Europe hasn't got it quite yet. The United States have got it, and they are just being very annoyed in Europe now that somebody has dared to touch their untouchable security net around their kind of thinking. This is actually what happened. It's also time to have a look at the next predictive chart. As you know, I work with predictive charts, which are the full moons and the new moons before the cardinal positions of the sun. The next cardinal position of the sun will be at 0 degrees of Aries. We are not there yet. There's a whole month to go with that, and so we are still in the predictive period of the opposition in between Jupiter and Mercury. That has been the last very, very strong predictive thing that occurred to us. And as we said, this is going to bring a whole lot of new knowledge, information, and wisdom out there in the world. Now, how has this developed? Just let's have a look at first the daily chart. Mercury is in the sign of Pisces, and he's 4 degrees away from the square position to Jupiter. Remember, as I said, we had the Sagittarius and the Gemini opposition for the whole prediction of the cardinal sun in Capricorn, and now Mercury has moved up there to the square position. What does the square position mean? The square position means that there is something to figure out in between knowledge and spirituality. We know all the things, but now we need also spiritual wisdom to get them clear and to find our path. And that makes the square position. This is the chart of today that we're looking upon right now. But the next chart for a real good prediction will be the full moon at the 14th of March. We are a whole month from now with this chart, and as you can see, this is the chart of the moon eclipse, also at the 14th of March. Now, what does that mean? If this is the predictive chart for the following period of the sun in Aries, 3 months from the sun of Aries, that means that the moon is just not there. Actually, it's an eclipse. So the sun lacks the mirror of Virgo rationality. Now, Virgo has been in quite an abuse throughout the last let's say 6 years or even more, because Virgo is the sign of health, security, everyday regular things that we have to do. And when the moon is covered and you don't see it at all, there's a lack of that. And that will bring a whole lot of more motion into the Piscean sea. The Pisces, Saturn is in Pisces still. From this chart, you can see we have Venus retrograde, and we have Neptune and Saturn and the Sun in Pisces for the predictive chart of the next following cardinal period. You know, this is going to come. And the most interesting thing is that Virgo seems to be a thing of the past. So this is going to be big. The amount of information that is going to be out there, a whole month more to go in the United States to find out. I give you a practical example. Go Sabine Hossefelder, betrayal in energy, in high energy particle research, for instance. You know, this is coming out. This means that probably all of the results of the CERN big machine, which is in Switzerland, you know, this particle collider, and also, as good scientists know anyhow, the so-called gravitational waves and things like that, this is all fraud. This is betrayal. And part of that will be the covered moon in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is not the sign that is really good to go for in these days. Having said that, we must remember that Virgo is badly needed in the world. We need Virgo to get clear with our things, to have a gardening, to have because Pisces dissolves anything, you know, gives great perspective, but Virgo is needed to fence them in a certain way and to regulate them so we can make a life. So this predictive chart is a good thing on the one hand, to say, okay, let's get rid of the garbage, you know, that we had the last 5 years. I'm talking about medical garbage, you know, for instance, on the one hand, but on the other hand, we might have a lack of stability in regulating our real everyday's life, you know. So take care for that. This is in between. But for today, let's celebrate the sun in the sign of Pisces. This is like a resurrection. This is like standing up for new spirituality. This is like the return of God's people. We could put it that way. Thank you for listening to this little show. I'm afraid tomorrow there won't be a movie, but the day after that, this is the possibility to get in contact with me. Up there is the mail address, mind the DE at the end. We have a private conversation. I send you a Zoom link and everything like that. Happy to see you. See you again.